article dictation. 5 seconds. Start. It has been submitted by learned counsel for the petitioner that he had made the application for compassionate appointment in the year 2016 and consequently his age as in 2016 should have been considered while considering him for appointment and therefore, his application should not have been rejected on the ground of overage star para. Heard learned counsel for the parties and perused the record stop para. It has been noticed that age of the petitioner on the date of consideration of his application for compassionate appointment would be a relevant consideration stop for compassionate appointment, there are several applications and whenever vacancy is offered to a candidate, his qualifications and eligibility has to be considered according to the post against which he/she is being considered and therefore, the age as on the date on which the application is considered would be the relevant date, and not when the application is made stop para. In this connection, reference may be made to the observations of Honorable Supreme Court in the case of State of Uttar Pradesh and others versus Premlata in Civil Appeal number 6003 of 2021 as under : para. While considering the issue involved in the present appeal, the law laid down by this court on compassionate ground on the death of the deceased employee are required to be referred to and considered stop. In the recent decision, this court in Civil Appeal number 5122 of 2021 in the case of Director of Treasuries in Karnataka and another versus V. Somnathan, had occasion to consider the principle governing the grant of appointment on compassionate ground stop. After referring to the decision of this court in N.C. Santosh versus State of Karnataka and others, 2027 SCC 617, this court has summarized the principle governing the grant of appointment of compassionate ground as under : para. That the compassionate appointment is an exception to the general rule : para. That no aspirant has a right to compassionate appointment : para. The appointment to any public post in the service of the state has to be made on the basis of the principle in accordance with Articles 14 and 16 of the Constitution of India : para. Appointment on compassionate ground can be made only on fulfilling the norms laid down by the state's policy and or satisfaction of the eligibility criteria as per the policy : para. The norms prevailing on the date of the consideration of the application should be the basis for consideration of claim for compassionate appointment stop para. As per the law laid down by this court in catena of decisions on the appointment on compassionate ground, for all the government vacancies equal opportunity should be provided to all aspirants as mandated under Articles 14 and 16 of the Constitution stop. However, appointment on compassionate ground offered to a dependent of a deceased employee is an exception to the said norms, the compassionate ground is a concession and not a right stop.